let's get into this whole Nina Turner situation. So some of you may have heard, some of you may not have heard. Nina Turner, once firebrand lefty, is now, after her failed congressional race, she is now joining the Young Turks. And this is just fucking hilarious. This is, like I said, like when I spoke about the AOC story before, like they're just doing it out like in our face now. Like they're just openly flaunting how much they don't give a fuck, how much they're just in it for themselves, and like they have no real intent of advancing the policy agenda that they use to become incredibly popular. Like I said, they use it to become popular, and then after that, it's just they're in it for themselves. And it's weird to me how many people are still just being obtuse on purpose at this point. If you don't see how much all of these charlatans from the Bernie Sanders orbit, all of his the politicians affiliated with him, all the people who are like the highest levels affiliated with his campaign, if you don't see how much they're fucking selling you out for their own self-interest at this point, I don't know what to tell you. You have fucking Jeff Weaver and Rocha, Tom Rocha, I don't remember his first name. People who are high level Bernie Sanders campaign, as soon as the campaign done, started fucking pro Biden super PACs and shit like that. You have, of course, the Justice Democrats, literally just a bunch of partisan hacks at this point. Our Revolution rebranding as Pragmatic Progressives, and it's literally all of them. All of them sold you out. All of them are just trying to advance their careers, and they don't give a fuck about advancing the agenda. Because if that were the case, they would be leading the charge. They are in the best position out of anybody in the country to lead the charge of direct action, lead the charge for general strikes or targeted strikes in key and essential industries like healthcare or education or logistics like trucking and things like that. They are in a better position than anybody else to lead that kind of movement. That's the only type of that's really our only option at this point to advance our policy agenda. And it is so telling that literally none of them, including Bernie Sanders, are going to take that route. None of them have any intention of taking that route. And what are they going to do? They're just going to they're in it to serve themselves and to benefit themselves. And hey, man, I'm not against people advancing their own careers. You can do that. But what I have an issue with is when you ride a fucking movement and you then co-opt all that energy, redirect all that energy into instead of, like I said, advancing the policy agenda of the movement, you redirect that energy into advancing your own career ambitions and your own career agenda. That's where I have a issue with it. And so again, Nina Turner is well on that path, joining TYT, and that is such a slap in the fucking face to anybody who's like seriously following these issues, seriously on the left, and is aware of the dynamics of what's happening in this country, what's happening on the left, in the left space, and what's happening in left media. TYT has become a fucking laughingstock, epic betrayer of the movement. And like in any way imaginable, they smeared Julian Assange, they smeared Medicare for All activists, poor, sick healthcare activists trying to advance single payer, whether it was through forced vote or the recent Medicare for All marches. They were on the wrong side of that, shitting on that, smearing truth tellers on the left and shilling for Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, vote blue no matter who bullshit. As they continue to screw the working class that they claim to be representing. Democrats have complete control of government. And they're still doing fuck all to help you. But the TYT crew will still tell you got to go out and vote for them in the next election. So they are decidedly on the wrong side of the left on every issue. Syria, fucking doing pro-war propaganda and smearing people like Aaron Mate, debunking the bullshit from the State Department and the Pentagon to antagonize us I'm sorry. I saw something on the screen and I got distracted. But antagonize us to continue our occupation and a military intervention in Syria. They are just on the wrong side of all of this shit. And of course, taking the corporate money and clearly changing their tone in a way that so that they are more palatable to the partisan hacks in the Democratic Party, to the DNC itself, and their donors, because they got millions of dollars, $20 million from one of the top donors to the Democratic Party. So they are as corrupt, as morally bankrupt as a media institution could get. So when Nina Turner makes a decision on her own, of her own will and volition, to join these frauds on their network, what else? What other decision is? What's left to be said about that? She's showing you who she is. So it's. I mean, I've written articles about this. I've made videos about this. It is clear the direction that Nina Turner is going in, and her joining TYT is just an epic slap in the face. It's a slap in the face for other people who don't raise. She raised $4 million in her election just now. $4 million from poor people and working class people. And then, obviously, that's all up in smoke, as I said it was going to happen anyway. But now that all the money was all up in smoke, and all the people who donated to her because they thought she was going to advance the policy agenda, what's she going to do? Is she taken to the streets right now to fight for the issues? Thank you, North American Ape, for that $1 donation. I'll read the message in a minute after I finish this. Is she gonna go in this? Is she like, all right, y'all really funded me, y'all came through for me, and I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna keep fighting for you regardless if I'm in Congress or not? Is that what she's doing? No. Is she organizing workers so that they could go on strike in across the country, or even in her own district or in her own state? No, she's not. No, she's not. Is she using her influence to pressure the Democratic Party as they control every level of government at this moment? No, she's not. What she's going to do is join TYT and fit right into the club. Be the fraud squad. Be part of the fraud squad defense league. Be part of Team Democrat and Team Vote Blue, no matter who. Again, while they continue to shaft us, while they have complete control of government. So again, it's just showing us who they really are. Nina Turner is showing you who she really is. And I don't know how much more people need to see. I said this when I was on a panel that Sabby Sabs hosts. She's one of the amazing hosts on Fred Hampton Leftist. She had a panel of the new left media, the people who have rose in left new media, the regular people, activists, or just regular commentators who now have grown and now have a platform that's grown over the last year. She had me on. She had Jackson Hinkle from the Dive on. She had Zach and Gavin from the Vanguard. She had on Kamali from I think he's does his own thing. He's like does his own independent show. She had other people from Fred Hampton Leftist on, RJ, and I forget who else was on the panel. But we had a discussion, and at one point somebody asked, what's the difference between like what's the left media, like what we're doing and what the old media is doing. And I made the point that we are willing to take in new information and adapt accordingly, and change our message accordingly, change our strategy accordingly. And one of the main points I was making is how much more do people need to see from these charlatans before they finally draw a line in the sand and say, you know what, enough is enough. They clearly aren't going to do anything. Because even if you don't want to go as far as me and call them frauds and sellouts, you have some hope. What do you think? In a week from now, what? Nina Turner is going to flip a switch and she's going to go scorched earth and go balls to the wall and fight to advance our policy agenda, go 10 times harder than she has been over the last year, over the last 2 years? No, that's not going to happen. You think AOC is going to flip on a dime and start shitting on Nancy Pelosi, doing direct actions outside of Nancy Pelosi's office again, or applying public pressure so that she could do any number of things that she has in her power to help people, to bail the people out in the middle of a crisis? No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They haven't done that over the last 2 years. They're not going to do it next week. They're not going to do it next month. Do you think Bernie Sanders is going to go to the mat against Chuck Schumer to actually have the Senate Democrats do fucking anything at all? No, he's not. So these people have chosen the trajectory of their career. And once the trajectory is chosen, you don't expect any wild departures. Nina Turner is she's been going down this path for a while. That's why I've been writing articles about it. That's why I've been doing videos about it. She's been going down this path for a while. Now she goes and joins TYT, the fucking epicenter of the fraud in the left movement. And so that's the trajectory that she's on. So stop expecting her to do anything to fight for you, because she's not. So let me read what's going on in the chat, what's happening, what's popping. And also, actually, let me get to North American Apes donation. So he sent a $1 donation. I don't know how anyone... I don't know how anyone can sit here and rationalize this move. Nina Turner is more popular than TYT, so why not create her own network like Breonna Joy Gray, especially when TYT is so tainted, but folks still have the dream that she'll push them left. And that's a great point. That's something that I should have mentioned before. She has all the name recognition you can possibly ask for. She's a national figure. She was co-chair of Bernie Sanders' campaign. She was the president of our revolution. She has as much name recognition, and she once had as much credibility on the left as anybody else. So why on earth do you need to join TYT? You don't need to. It's not necessary to get your message across. And regardless of her previous name recognition or not, what have we all been doing? What have all these new hosts in left media have been doing? We are nobodies with no name recognition, but what we did was get in front of a fucking camera and a fucking microphone. We spoke the truth to people, and then we got an audience from it. So if Nina Turner wanted to tell the truth, and if she had her truth to speak, buy a fucking microphone, buy a fucking camera, sit in front of a computer, and speak to an audience. You don't need to go on the Young Turks to do that. So again, she made that decision because that's the trajectory she wants for her career. She doesn't want to be a lefty truth teller. She wants to fit in at TYT. She wants to fit in on the in crowd with the elites of this so-called left, but really a bunch of fucking shit libs. That's what she wants. That's why she's going to TYT. Let me see what's happening in the live chat now. Henry Covert says, I wonder how Tim Black feels about Nina Turner's career move. I wonder that too, because he was out there shitting on everybody left and right after Nina Turner lost, losing his fucking mind. I mean, he already lost his mind a while ago, but acting fucking outrageous and out of control, and just hurling shit at anybody who... honestly, he was just hurling shit at anybody, because he was hurling shit at Breonna Joy Gray as if Breonna Joy Gray was like some harsh critic of Nina Turner. No, she wasn't. And honestly, that's a criticism I have of Breonna Joy Gray. She wasn't tough enough on Nina Turner. And then, yeah, she's friends with her. She worked with her on the campaign. But hey, you're in media now, and she was a politician. You have a job to actually be keep it real with your audience about what to expect. So, so he was just hurling shit at anybody. And I do wonder what he thinks about this shit. I don't know. Of course, he'll probably defend it, just like he'll defend anything else from these shitty charlatan politicians. The Daily Dope Show says she's not fighting at all. That is the fucking truth. None of them are fighting at all. And it's a sad state of affairs what's happening on the left right now. It really is, because everybody, I don't, it is really, this whole last year and a half has been a great unmasking. Last 2 years has been a great unmasking, because all the people that we had so much, I wouldn't say hope or faith in, so much respect in, and so much admiration and belief that they were actually fighting for us, all of them showed their ass, and they're just in it for themselves, and they have no intention of doing what's necessary to advance our policy agenda. None of them, not the politicians and not the fucking new media. Not new media, not the Young Turks, not Cenk Uygur, not Anna Kasparian, not Sam Cedar with his MSNBC show, not Emma Vigeland, also shilling for MSNBC now, not Tim Black, not David Pakman, not David Dole, not Mike Figueredo. None of them, not Kyle Kalinske, none of them are willing to do what's necessary to advance our policy agenda, and they really just seem like they're just riding the wave at this point, and it's just like they're just doing their fucking day job. They're gonna get in front of the fucking camera and talk to people, make a bunch of money, and not shit is gonna change, but they're not gonna do anything different to make sure any change happens. So it's really a sad state of affairs on the left right now. And people need to realize, people need to understand that the movement is coming from the people. That any change is coming from the people. Any advancement in our policy agenda is coming from the fucking people. It's coming from the streets. It's coming from people who are going to make noise. It's coming from people who are going to do direct action. It's coming from people who are going to make politicians and the media uncomfortable and make it so that business as usual can't continue. So none of the people that I mentioned before, none of them are ever going to do it. Let me see. Oh, 72 people in the live stream. Wow, that's nice. It's only my second